December came early to Bozeman, Montana, and stayed longer than usual. Snow covered the streets in thick, uneven layers, and the town felt quieter with every passing day. Ethan Miller, 32 years old, hadn't planned to be here this long. He came for a short construction contract. 2 months, maybe three. That was in the summer. Now it was December 23rd. Ethan stood outside a small grocery store, holding a plastic bag with bread and instant soup, watching people load Christmas trees into their trucks. Families laughed. Someone played music too loud from a car speaker. He checked his phone. 2 missed calls from his mom, 1 text from his sister. Dad keeps asking if you're coming. Ethan already knew the answer. He hadn't been home to Cleveland, Ohio in almost 2 years. Money was always tight. Jobs were never stable. And this winter, everything seemed to fall apart at once. A snowstorm had shut down the highways. Flights were canceled for days. His old pickup truck needed repairs that cost more than he had. Christmas morning arrived quietly. No tree, no presents, no family, just Ethan, a flickering motel heater, and coffee that tasted like burned water. That evening, he sat in his truck, listening to a local radio station. The host was talking about people trying to make it home for the holidays. Sometimes, the voice said, home isn't about the date, it's about showing up. Ethan let out a tired laugh. Easy to say, he muttered. On December 28th, his phone rang again. This time it was his dad. Ethan let it go to voicemail. Hey, son, just wanted to say, we're proud of you. We know things aren't easy. Don't risk anything just to get here. We'll keep the light on anyway. Ethan stared at the dashboard long after the message ended. Something inside him shifted. Not hope, not confidence, just a quiet decision. The next morning, he sold the last of his spare tools, picked up a night shift unloading freight at a warehouse outside town. His hands ached, his back burned. During a break, a long-haul truck driver sat beside him. You from around here? The man asked. No. Ohio, Ethan replied. The trucker nodded slowly. I'm heading east tomorrow. Indiana, at least. It wasn't a miracle, but it was a start. 3 rides, 1 overnight bus, too much coffee. By December 31st, Ethan stood inside a bus station in Toledo, surrounded by people rushing to somewhere else. The air smelled like wet coats and exhaustion. He checked the time. 11:12 p.m. His phone buzzed. A message from his sister. We're still awake. At 11:54 p.m., the bus doors opened in Cleveland. Snow fell lightly. No fireworks yet, no celebration. Just his dad's old pickup truck parked near the curb. They looked at each other through the windshield for a second too long. Then his dad stepped out. You made it, he said quietly. Ethan nodded. Before the year ended. At home, the Christmas tree was still standing. A little dry, a little crooked. The lights blinked unevenly. His mom cried when she saw him. His sister laughed and hugged him too hard. Someone handed him a drink he didn't ask for. When midnight came, Ethan stood in the living room he once thought he'd never return to. Sometimes Christmas doesn't happen on December 25th. Sometimes it waits for you to come home.